Racing vlogs. How we doing, everybody? My name is Tom, and today I'm in Afton, New York to check out the Afton Motorsports Park for another weekly race showcase. Now this one is going to be a little bit different from the others. As I was messaging this track to make sure I was allowed to camp and where to set up and everything, the guy who runs the Facebook page actually recognized me, not from my videos, but he's an old college classmate of mine from 5-6 years ago. So he agreed to take me and you guys along for a little behind-the-scenes tour on how Afton Motorsports Park works, and then we'll get into some racing action. Let's go check it out.
Hi, my name's Tyler. Welcome to Afton Motorsports Park. This is the first VIP booth. Most of the time nobody's over here other than friends and family. This is the control booth. So I sit here. This is where I run the race monitor and my laps. Goes out the window there over to the timing loop. Lineups are done here, which is the same laptop that goes down there, so that's not set up yet. Hand scorer sits here. With
Hand scorer.
Yep. Always have a backup.
Okay.
Either my wife does it, or we have a girl named Casey who also works the pit gate that does it too. She's been doing it for 40 years. Race director sits here. Announcer sits here.
Where's the...
So there's one there on that pole, but the first one is on this pole, but on the back side, so the pit stands can see it. It's not hooked into the scoring system.
The My Laps, okay.
Yes. That was not on my priority list this year. One, because it costs. So if you're watching the leader, you'll know when you're doing hand scoring, you got lap 1, 2, you know you got to start moving when you're watching that leader again.
Yeah.
This is your cue. Almost like you're running laps with a timer. But that's about it up here. Sometimes the TV guy sits here, points out the window, but there's stuff there because he's been up on the roof lately. He likes it better up there.
Yeah, and when you say TV guy, you mean the cushion, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Where you can find every race.
And this is the VIP booth that gets rented out every night. So this one, this weekend, I think is Big E's. Yep, Big E's. So they're the modified sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be food and stuff up here to them. Rarely rent out double nights.
Okay.
But if we have to, both have a deck.
This is so cool.
Season, we get all the wristbands in. Me and my wife, and this year the brother's son, Nash, filled my entire kitchen of 66,000 wristbands. Counted them out, and now every week is boxed with a number. And all I have to do is come in here, grab this week's folder, tell me what box it is, what we're going to use, and what we're going to use.
Super organized.
And the next 3 weeks are always ready to go. This was today. Next week, in our midweek show, everything's ready, all right there. And inside them is pay sheets. So the Darlene who sits here, she goes around a couple times a night, picks up money. That gets written down here just so we know where we're at. And then these are the pay labels for the racers.
Go on envelopes.
This is tonight's.
Nice.
They all get put in these. I print off the the payout, whatever you want to call it. It's the sheet where they all finish. They all have to sign it. So it goes on here, and they all go over after the race.
For like proof that they got the envelope?
Yep. Okay. They have to sign it to take it. And we have to have a valid W-9 to never take it. This fair board told us, these are our grandstands, not yours. You cannot put that sign up. He doesn't own these. Okay. So we held on to the sign. 2 years later, we get the track back, and the new fair board says, oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
It just shows a little bit of history.
Yeah, I love dedicated grandstands. I hate how much of a nerd I sound, but...
Call it our novelty stand. So we sell like t-shirts, hats. So the top 5 will come off the track, down the horse track, come right in here, pull in, get weighed, do whatever other inspection we're going to do.
Right.
Come on out. 2 years ago,
I didn't know about this.
little go-kart track. Really, it's actually pretty nice.
That's awesome.
He's put a lot of work into this. He gets a lot of cars too, carts.
So is this a weekly thing too, or?
Every other Friday.
Oh, this is so cool.
There's like anywhere from 8 to 10 different classes.
Yeah.
Down from junior ones all the way up to ghosts and predators, this and that.
Oh, well, I'm definitely gonna have to come back now. Thank you again, Tyler, for showing me around. That was so cool. I never get to see a racetrack from that point of view, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers haven't either. So that was really, really cool. Thank you, man. This has been fun. But let's head on in now. I have a little bit of trivia to give you guys, and we already saw kind of, you know, what it's like here as a fan, just from driving around and doing all of that. So I'll do the one hot lap, and then we'll jump right into the features. So I hate to say it, but kind of like Penn Can, I couldn't really find a lot of information on the history of this place. I know it opened in the early 1900s as a horse racing track. Not sure when stock car racing started, but when it did, it was under the name of I-88 Speedway. We are watching the weather again. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Went up to the top row, but honestly, I kind of like those a little bit better. Just a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm not sure this is great either, because this is kind of too far low. I don't know. Guess I'll have to wait to see if once modifieds come out.
Side by side, you're
Yeah, I see why this place was recommended so much to me. I enjoyed this track a lot. The show was run on time. The track prep was phenomenal. Prices are very reasonable. Free camping is always a plus. If I did have to make a complaint, it would probably just be the seating arrangement. It feels like you're either sitting too far from the track or too low to see the front stretch, but honestly that wasn't even that bad. So this place reminds me a lot of Brookfield Speedway. If you were around watching my channel last year with the Short Track Super Series at that place, you know, dirt track at a town or county fairground. It's kind of cozy. But that's all I got for today, guys. Hopefully this video came out well. I have no idea how the clips of the behind the scenes stuff really came out. Editor Tom knows. Editor Tom, how did the video come out? Like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Comment on what you thought of this place. If you've ever been here, you have any stories. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, both at Bear Racing Vlogs. Subscribe for more. I'm at a different racetrack just about every week. And as always, support your local. All right.